Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Number 3.
Damn, dog.
Crazy, huh?
We're really gonna do this forever?
Yeah.
What
Well, we don't run
if
out of UFO cases and shit and paranormal shit.
Dude, we're gonna get to like 1,000 one day. Watch. Damn, psych. It's
Imagine.
over. Hey,
Yeah,
guess
bro.
what, everybody? It's over. Just kidding.
Our last episode's gonna be episode 420.
Imagine. We go missing after that.
I want to welcome back my co-host Frankie. What's up, man?
What's going on, man?
How was your week?
It's been chill. Did a bunch of laundry, a bunch of chores I needed to do, a bunch of nothing.
You know, I'm very disappointed in myself this week, bro.
Yeah, what happened?
Got lazy, bro.
Well, that happens. It happens.
We did our shout out to Krookz Backyard Brewz, but we did put in some work when Wednesday.
Yeah, I mean, I came over and helped you out with some stuff.
And then we pretty much got everything ready to go. I did a supply run. Dude,
yeah,
supplies are so expensive now, bro.
for the
Like
beer
grain, yeast, and shit, bro. It's like
they marked it up or what? Cause
yeah,
of COVID?
man. I don't know what the fuck, dude, but yeah, I was surprised. I was like, I wasn't expecting to spend what I spent,
Yeah.
if you know what I mean. And I was like, fuck. But hey,
When you got to the register, like your wallet was like, this is.
you ever go to Target for one thing?
Right, man. Come on, don't do this. You didn't gotta be like this.
You ever go to Target for one thing and you end up
Yeah.
spending like $500? You're like,
I mean,
what the fuck,
That's
dude?
the trip of. That's like the like Target's like trap, dude. Like they get you in the door and
And they
then
put a
like,
bunch of cool shit
They put
everywhere.
they put a bunch of cool shit, and then they make you imagine your life way cooler. They're like, oh, check it out, your life is gonna be so sick right now. Buy all this, and then like you buy it, and you're like, oh, I just bought a bunch of shit I didn't need.
And then you're at the register crying and shit. Fuck in your head. What the fuck?
I don't need this Apple TV right now.
I feel you, man. Yeah. So just chilling, huh?
Yeah, dog. I mean, I don't have my car, so like, I just been like ordering out. Like, I ordered my groceries again, like over the like. I haven't like. I'm stubborn. I was like, I don't need to get people to buy me my groceries or bring me my groceries. I can just go to the store, right? Like.
Bro, I told you, if you needed my car or if you needed a
it's
ride,
all
I
good.
got you, dog.
No, it's all good. I just been chilling. I've been like going through like the rest of like. Whoa, I have like food at home like that. Like I kind of just like I've been ignoring because I can like you know how like you buy some like I bought like what's it called? For a little bit, I got into like making pizzas and stuff, like just because I wanted to. And then like I followed some dude's recipe and said like, oh, buy these Italian tomatoes, blah blah blah. So I bought like a whole case of them on Amazon.
Yeah.
So I was like, dope. So, but I have like 5 more of these cans that I'm not doing anything with. So I've been messing with them.
Bro, the last time you made me a pizza was fire, dog.
Dude, we gotta make a pizza again.
Yeah, we do. We definitely do. Why do we need school, bro? We could just learn everything on YouTube.
Right now we can because we're old enough and we know like what we're supposed to do and whatever. But like when you're young, you don't know any of these things.
No. I wish we had YouTube.
So like you kind of have to grow up and like be somewhere when you're a little kid, and you know you can't just be thrown into the wild. Imagine a 5-year-old give him like a set of car keys and like, hey, you're off to work, dog.
True, very true. I wish we had YouTube when we were younger.
Well, yeah, you can learn like a lot of things really quick, but I mean the mind has to develop. Like a person's not fully formed until they're like at least in their 20s, I don't think. But like I don't know where I can like talk. Well, I guess I could just talk about whatever. But like, you know how at 18, like you're a teenager, but
Right.
you're considered an adult, right?
Right.
I kind of thought about it like afterwards. Like, why did they make it 18? And then like as the older that I got, like I'm 35 now. Like the older that I got, the more that I realized, like, oh, my mind's still like a teenager. I still feel like
I feel you on
some
that too.
like irresponsible dickhead sometimes, you know. and so I think that's why they gave us the right to vote at 18, because we're like that's as dumb as you are right there. Like that's about as good as you're gonna get.
Did you
or your opinions of things, not dumb. I shouldn't say that. No, that's disparaging to anybody that like doesn't go to school or something. Whatever. No, that's because I didn't go to school. I mean,
Yeah, right.
I'm just talking shit on myself. But like,
Me too.
no, I'm just saying like your hard opinions about things.
Yeah.
They get set at by 18. You like your opinions of things. That's where you're at. Like,
Right.
That's how I feel.
Yeah. Talking about that, did you hear about the truck drivers now?
What did they do?
Now, before it used to be 21 to go interstate?
Yeah, 21.
Now it's 18.
Really?
You could get your Class A when you're 18 and go interstate. What do you feel about that? Yeah, I took that long breath too, bro, when I heard that too, dog.
You're kind of well, you're not allowed to drink yet, so I don't know where like how you're supposed to like learn how to drink and then like not go driving, or I don't know what like happens. Well, you're not supposed to be driving anyways when you're behind the wheel, but like 10 hours before, whatever.
You know, about this subject, I don't hate on nobody's hustle. There is some determined 18-year-olds out there that have their head set straight and they get shit done. Another thing before we go into that,
but also insurance though, like
yeah, that's no, that but see
like that way too, because like you're saying that like this person should be allowed to, and someone has to insure that.
No, I understand that. That was my problem getting hired was the fucking insurances when it was my time.
Yeah.
Okay, so but my point,
nobody knows you have zero record, and so
right.
Nobody wants to.
My whole point with this was that there is some, maybe a small percentage are like that, dude. Driving a fucking 80,000-pound vehicle is nerve-wracking, dude.
It is, and you need a lot of attention.
And a lot of attention, a lot of training, and a lot of experience. Well, you get your experience with doing it, but I mean, you need somebody there to make sure you're not going to kill both of them.
Yeah.
Both of you guys, or yourself at least, I think it's too young, bro.
It might be too young.
I think it's too young. I don't want to play or hate on nobody, bro, or because I was that kid. I was so excited. I was trying to find out what's the quickest way to get on a truck. Mm-hmm. But once I actually went and go did it, I was like, wow, this is a whole nother thing.
Yeah,
that I wasn't expecting. It was overwhelming for me.
I can imagine that everyone that listens to us, like, they have their driver's license at least, like the regular, just to drive a, like, your regular car or minivan or whatever, right? Remember when, like, you had to do that? Like, you had to do the test, and there was like a bunch of, like, the little book is like huge, and like you have to study all of this, that, and the other. Like the CDL test is 3 of those tests, and then like it's a lot to remember. It's a lot to like take care of, but like once you're actually working in the industry, it's very simple. Like as long as you get to learn the machines, and like it's a machine, and you got to take care of it, make sure that it's running right, or else it overheats, or it does this, it does that, whatever. So once you learn it, it's very basic. Like,
right.
For me,
yeah, you get used to it.
Yeah. So for somebody to learn that skill and then just give them the responsibility at 18, like, I don't know, man.
Yeah, I feel the same way.
It's a lot, because like at 18, I wanted to do a lot. I mean, I did a bunch of wild stuff that I thought was wild when I was like 18 and 21 and blah, 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 like on and on. But like, do you trust that person that's that young and that just doesn't have the experience? Do you trust that person? I don't know if you can.
I'm going to put it this way, bro.
I don't know if I would.
I'm going to put it this way. I'm going to ask myself this.
Someone like hires him and gives him a job and throws the keys at an 18-year-old and they feel cool about it. I mean, like, there we go. We're going to find out.
I'm going to ask myself this. Would I trust myself at 18 with a semi-truck? No way. No fucking way. Nah, dude, I would have done, like, the whole case with that truck driver that got 110 years.
That would have been for day one.
Yeah.
Your first hour of the...
there was a lot of shit. There was a lot of runaway ramps, what they were saying. And he had opportunities to exit.
Yeah.
But when you're that young and you're fucking freaking the fuck out behind that wheel, trying to stop that thing, trying to do you're trying to finish your job. But at the end, you're so fucking panicked. You don't know what the fuck. Everything's a blur at that time.
Yeah.
You can... I kind of understand... I could understand a young guy doing that, Yeah. So especially if he has no experience.
Easily.
You've been down every fucking mountain, Donner Pass, the worst ones, bro.
Cabbage over the Appalachians.
You could do it with your eyes closed now, right?
I mean, not necessarily, but I mean, I feel pretty good about it.
Yeah. It's
If I were to get on there and it's raining, I wouldn't have a problem with it. Nah.
I'm gonna
try and think twice about it again.
Right. I'm gonna talk shit on myself. When I was at Coke,
yeah,
I used to stress about that job so much that I wouldn't sleep sometimes.
That's unnecessary.
and it was always because how am I going to get in here? How am I going to get in there? How am I going to do this? Where am I going to park here? Where am I going to park there? But thanks to all that, I guess, well, not really thanks, as I beat myself up over it, but that you could tell me, hey, go here, I'm going to get it done. Yeah. And I'm not even thinking about it no more.
Oh, of course.
And I think, in my opinion, with this whole topic, I think they should wait. I think 23 is a good age. 23.
What is it now? 21, right?
Well, it was 21. Now it's 18. I still think 21 was a young age.
Is that across the whole nation?
The whole nation, bro. Interstate.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
California did it the same, like for local.
Well, no.
Drivers,
if you were 18, you could only get an intrastate license, where you could only drive within California.
Oh.
Yeah. Now, it's interstate to go anywhere. But I mean, to each its own. Like I said, there is.
But you also got to realize that people grow up different too.
Yeah.
Like there's people that do grow up on farms, and
that's what I'm saying.
They are moving like a bunch of hay bales all at once.
They're on that shit all day.
They have to grab a either like a semi or a little, what's it called?
Tractor.
The little just like a tractor, yeah. And you get used to it. You get used to big machinery too. I mean, I can kind of see it both sides too. Now.
Yeah. No, me too. But the big problem is there's a lot of fools that don't know.
Yeah,
they don't have
that growing up, that experience. Then I guess. Well, that's why they throw you at the skills and stuff too. Mm-hmm. They take you on the road test and all that, and hopefully that person's like.
There's a lot of people that
taking their better judgment with it, like making their better decision.
There's a lot of people that see this as an exit. As an exit to their situation. Yeah. So they're like, oh, I'm doing this. This sucks. I'm going to go be a truck driver. I was like that.
Yeah.
And a lot of them don't know what the fuck they're getting themselves into until they're there.
Yeah.
But hey, shout out to all my truck drivers out there. I want to say personally, as a colega, as a coworker, thank you all for what you do. We understand. We were there. We are there. And to the other truck drivers, they're dicks and cut you off and fuck you guys. So we'll leave it at that. But thank all you guys for your hard work, and it sucks that it's not a brotherhood no more like it used to be. Like people used to pull over to help you and shit like that. If you were now, nobody gives a fuck. I don't even stop anymore, bro. I'm at whatever. But.
I mean, if I see a coworker and he's broke down, I'm like, hey,
yeah, well, yeah,
I'll for sure, because like there was one time that I saw this one coworker, he caught like a seal, like one of those boat seals through like one of his steers, and he had to pull over. I mean, there's no like, I'll limp it over here. It's just like the tire came off the rim and everything. So I pulled over and I'm like, yeah, I can't even help you. I have an air hose, like one that hooks up to your airlines.
Sometimes you can't help.
I'm like, if it can hold air, I'll shoot it full of air and whatever. But like now that thing was like off the beat and everything. So I mean, there's no coming back from that.
Yeah. Shout out to all our truck drivers out there, man. If you see any big semi trucks on the road, give them their space. Let them come through. I know sometimes it's a pain in the ass being behind a semi truck, but eventually you're gonna get around them. So
yeah, they're just big dumb buildings moving around the world. So just
that can crush a lot of you.
They can kill a bunch of shit. So just be careful with them.
Yeah,
careful out there, everybody.
But hey, man, cheers.
Hey, cheers.
It's pretty early in the morning.
Yeah, what you got over there?
It's not a beer this time, bro.
Stop lying. It's a 211.
It's a Naked Juice, strawberry banana.
And I got myself an energy drink. I need a caffeine sponsor. If anybody out there like knows anybody in the caffeine industry, I'm talking like pills. I'm talking like if you gotta go to like some Starbucks, like a sneaky Starbucks hookup, let me know.
Put some clavo in it.
Yeah. No, I've got like I don't know. This one's kind of like watermelon sour something. Hopefully it's good.
Sweet. Yeah, man.
Did the job.
I have some beers in there, and so
yeah, it's kind of early, so
yeah.
So like this week has been chill. Like we've been chilling all week. We ain't been doing shit.
Yeah.
like just like I've been doing a bunch of research for this week. So
You saved my ass, bro.
bro, it's no big deal. I'm telling you.
You saved my ass. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Well,
I got so caught up yesterday
I'm telling
with
you,
shit.
you got like I was telling you on the ride over here, like you got kids, you got like this, that, and the other. Like you got a whole bunch of stuff going on around here. Over there at my house, I had to do laundry. That was like my biggest like hurdle for the week. And then I cleaned my bathroom, like sorta. I kind of tidied it up. Nothing like I didn't scrub like deep clean it or nothing, but I was like, oh, this place is a mess. The kitchen that needed some cleaning up, so I kind of wiped everything down, blah blah blah. Kind of made everything start looking all right again. So it doesn't look so horrible when I go back to work and I ignore it for another fucking like 3 weeks or whatever.
I want to say thanks, man, for coming by and helping me that day with the brewery.
Yeah,
We had a little ratatouille problem in here.
yeah.
That was my fault for keeping grain in here.
You need to put a bouncer over here somewhere, dude.
Dude, Lily, bro, it's like I have a cat. Lily smoked 2 of them, bro, in the same week.
For real? Damn.
She's on it, dog. And like I was watching her last night, and she was all up fucking like running around in the garage, like all the little corners barking, and I leave her alone.
Yeah.
I don't like letting the dogs in the garage when they're playing outside, because the first fucking, I don't know if you guys own any pugs out there. If you own a pug, you already fucking know that motherfucker pisses everywhere. And he shits everywhere. And he don't give a fuck, dude. You could try to train him as much as you can or you want. He's going to be like, fuck you, I'm shitting right here. So I don't like generally leave him in here, you know what I'm saying? Because I know I'm going to come back to a mess. But I said, you know what? I got to get these fuckers out. Because I don't want to be recording a podcast and fucking Stuart Little crawls up your leg. You're like, oh, what the fuck? You know
Stuart Little.
But dude, Lily took him out.
If he pulls up in that little red car, I'll be like, what's up, man?
And she don't even eat him or nothing, dog. She just kills him and leaves him right there at the doorstep. There you go, throw it away.
You looking for a ride? Are you insured by survival? I can't take that ride.
Yeah, our week has been, honestly, it's been relaxing. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it's been
I
chill.
needed a little relax like this.
Yeah, but like, okay, for me, I studied up on this Bob Lazar dude. Interesting cat, by the way. So I listened to the Joe Rogan interview. That was pretty cool. I listened to and I watched the documentary that Jeremy Corbell did
Yeah.
a couple years ago, which was really good, really cool because it has brand new like interviews with Bob Lazar that like I thought I'd never see.
Yeah.
Or in like when I saw him on camera, I was like, "Whoa, that looks like an old Bob Lazar." And then he started talking. I'm like, "That's Bob Lazar." I was so excited to watch that.
Thank you again for doing this research. This is my favorite case.
Oh, dude, it's the best.
This is what got me into UFOs.
like so I watched like those two documentaries or interviews with him and
Right.
stuff. But the one that like I got the most information out of was the interview that he did with Art Bell on I don't know if it must have been like Coast to Coast, right? That's when he was a host of Coast to Coast.
How does it say that? How does it sound? Dude, he has the dopest intro song, bro. How does it start, bro?
I need to hang
Don't
on.
don't play it.
I'm not gonna play. I'm not gonna play it. But
Flag
like,
the shit.
if in the descriptions we can put like we can link.
Well,
this in
yeah,
the
we'll link
description.
that, yeah.
Okay, so Midnight Express theme. So I'm guessing this is a movie. I've never seen this, but it looks sick. It looks so sick. It's got like birds flying around in
How does
like
he
an
start?
old temple or something. I'm not really sure.
How does he start the show? From the Kingdom of Nod.
Kingdom of Nod. This is Coast to Coast or whatever. No, but this one, like, okay, so what I found is not the official. Like, I don't know where the official audio is sitting, but I found this like it's an upload to somebody else. But I'll link in the description so you guys can get a taste of what Bob Lazar or who Art Bell is, but also like what I find like the best interview of Bob Lazar ever, because he comes on here. And he tells you his story of like who he is and where he worked and what he saw there. Like there's people that don't believe that don't believe him, and I'm not really even sure why anymore, because everything that there's been like there's a handful of things that he said in these interviews that have come true throughout the years. Not like, oh, he knew one thing and then he guessed it right, and then like the other thing he made a vague reference to. It's like, no, he said like this, if this is real, the things that I seen, this is real, this is real, this is real, and then, you know, a couple other things like will happen or be discovered. So it's incredible what this guy claims to have worked, and it's a fascinating, and I 100% believe like he is who he says he is, and he worked where he said he worked.
Yeah, me too, man. I've listened to pretty much damn near all the interviews too. It's been with Art Bell. Rest in peace, Art Bell, man. Hey, thank you for countless nights of just radio shows, and thank you. You know, you got me through many work nights listening to your program, you know. But I listened to that one. I listened to the Joe Rogan one. The documentary from Corbell was good too.
Yeah.
The original one, the one I showed, it's hard to find now, where he comes on and he introduces himself as Dennis.
Oh, right.
As his supervisor's name and shit.
The back of the van.
I think that was the first one I showed you.
Yeah.
But this is my favorite case. This is what got me interested in UFOs. So I'm going to let my co-host Frankie run it down. Let's get to it, bro.
All
Teach me, dog.
So Bob Lazar is a physicist. This is where it gets kind of tricky though, because he says that he went to MIT and then I can't remember what other college, but for I guess the type of work that he was going to be doing, they had to erase like his scholastic career, I guess, or like all of his degrees and everything. I'm not really even sure like how they can do that, or and they can't find like some information of him like that he attended the colleges. So that's where it gets kind of weird for me.
Yeah,
because and I almost look past it, because I'm like, this is like all the other stuff that he talks about. Like, how can he guess everything right? You know,
right?
Like,
exactly.
That's not. I don't.
You can't do that.
Unless he's a time traveler, but then that proves his point even more. I don't know. Like, that's just like weird. Like, how would he know the things that he knew? Like, it's just so weird. Well, anyways, so this guy, he's a physicist. He's an amateur rocket scientist, and he tried developing like there was like the guy who invented the ejector seat that's used in every like jet fighter.
Yeah.
The guy that invented that rocket, or like that
propulsion system.
That propulsion system, he modified that and was able to put it in the back of a Honda Civic. No, a Honda CRX. This guy he put a bigger version of of an ejector seat in the back of a car. And he made it into like a rocket car.
So this fool's flying around in a little CRX with the engine, with a fucking turbine in the back?
Two-seater Honda CRX, and he put a rocket behind it. Like, okay, imagine like the seat that you're sitting in, right? Like, that's how big the rocket needs to be to kick you out of like F-16.
Right.
He put a bigger one behind this.
Man.
Dude, yeah, it's so sick.
Bro, imagine how many races we could win with that.
Dude, I don't know what the fuck he did with that car every weekend, but that thing is sick.
Fuck.
He said he drove it to work every day because I guess he's just like tinkering with rockets and stuff. Where he worked at this time when he had this rocket car,
right,
was at the Los Alamos lab in New Mexico.
Hold it right there with that, okay? Mm-hmm. When you said that they had to delete his past, he was already working at the Los Alamos labs because he was doing some fucked up shit in that laboratory.
Okay, I don't think we can talk about
that. Yeah, that's how we're gonna leave it right there.
Because I've heard other people say that
I don't want to get visited. I don't want to get visited by them.
We're not talking about anything because we're not talking about anything.
Yeah, just wanted to clear that up.
So we're talking about. So he was featured because this guy's wild, bro. Mm-hmm. Then he got attention from the local media. Mm-hmm. And he got written up in the newspaper. He was like on the front page of the Los Alamos Monitor. Yeah, is the newspaper, the local newspaper right there. And he got put in the front cover. We'll link that. We'll put that'll be probably like the first picture that we put on the Instagram post when we put this video up or this podcast up. But just so happens the day that he gets put it on the paper, I guess because I don't know if the local news knew that somebody important was coming to town or something, but it just so happened that that's the day that Edward Teller, the father of the hydrogen bomb, was giving a speech at the Los Alamos lab at their lecture hall.
Shit, okay.
And I mean,
a hydrogen bomb. The father. Yeah, I'm gonna
go. The father of the hydrogen bomb.
I'm gonna go sit in and listen. You know,
Bob Lazar is working at the lab. Down at the basically at the little auditorium that they have there, there's a guy that's gonna give a lecture on I don't know what, but he finds he finds it interesting enough that he wants to go like, see him speak, right? So he goes down there. It just so happens that he sees him in the hallway to get down there reading the paper, and he's on the paper.
Shit. Okay.
So like it's not like it's a wild coincidence that this guy shows up there this day, and it's just a miraculous event that like this is the way that this happens. But this day he gets to introduce himself.
Yeah.
And then him and Edward Teller start chit chatting, blah blah blah. Oh, that's my rocket, blah blah. Like
right,
he gets to know him and stuff. So on this day, Edward Teller doesn't tell him, I got a project I want to work with you with.
You just wanted to keep him in mind,
but I'll keep you in mind for like a later project. So eventually, life goes on. He sees the lecture, and then afterwards life goes on. He stops working at Los Alamos lab, like by himself, like him working at the lab. He then starts his own business basically, and he gets contracted.
Okay.
So he's like a contractor now. So he's like kind of freelance, doing this, doing that. He's a little bit more free. He's able to afford a little more, or start new ventures and stuff. He opens up a 1 hour photo lab that his wife runs.
Okay.
And this is kind of like, I feel kind of uncomfortable telling people's like this is actual people's business.
Yeah.
Like when I'm talking about this now, I'm like, when I was listening to it yesterday, I was like, oh cool, this is all the information that I need. But like, man, this is like, these people are real right now. Like I'm just giving these people's businesses like out. But like, so anyways, this is this is just what he said, and I'm just repeating it. Like
right.
I'm not trying to like scam people. I'm not trying to
yeah, no, I got
catch people for anything.
It's but we're just relaying the story.
Okay, we're relaying the story. Yeah, thanks for putting my mind at ease. I was getting caught up in my head right there. Okay, so after that, he kind of like he keeps working. He keeps doing his thing.
Right.
And he moves from. He gets tired of living in New Mexico, I guess. And, and he just moves. They end up moving to Las Vegas. Okay. Out there's more business opportunities. He opens up like this weird like little brothel.
That's right. I heard about that.
He's just like this weird wild guy though. Yeah. Because like so Bob Lazar, he's interesting though. Like he's interesting because he takes chances. He goes in like. Who puts a rocket in the back of a car, like a legit jet in the back of a car?
He also made a hydrogen-powered Corvette.
A hydrogen-powered Corvette, and then he made like a particle accelerator in his living room or some shit. Like this guy is like out of his mind. Like, but then like he also says that he likes like the excitement of it or the potential for power of things.
Yeah.
Like the explosions, and then I'm like, I get it. Like this guy, like I could like hang out with this guy.
He's a wild man.
He's a wild man.
Yeah.
That guy's like, he's interesting.
You know who he reminds me of?
Huh?
The movie, the dad from Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Because he's so proper. He's all like, but he does some wild ass shit.
He's
dog.
Like he's very intelligent. Very like he takes care of everything that he needs to. But at the same time, he goes and does like experimental shit, and that's people. The world definitely needs stuff like that.
So he moves back to Vegas.
So he not back to Vegas.
Not back to Vegas. He moves to Vegas. Right.
And at that time he gets bored with whatever he's doing. He gets in trouble for like opening up. Oh
yeah, he had some legal shit going on.
He gets in trouble for opening up that brothel, and he could say that when they started investigating him, like the cops, they couldn't find out like where he went to school and stuff either. They're like, hey, just give us the information that we need, like who you are and where you've been and stuff, and we'll let you go. Like,
right.
Or we'll go easy on you. He's like, nah, I can't, because this is what happened, and this is what this is what's real.
Yeah.
So like this guy's sticking to his guns for apparent no reason. He goes to court, and this is like under oath. This is all the stuff that he says.
Right.
So it's kind of hard not to believe him at this point. Like it's really he's come through with all the stuff that he says.
A lot of shit, dude.
and he stands by his word.
Yeah.
It would be easier for him not to say anything.
And he did say
his life would be a lot less complicated if he didn't say anything.
Right. He did say that he has no proof of anything.
He can't. I mean,
and he said that
there's no
I
way.
have no proof of anything. All I could offer the world is my story. And his story, a lot of parts of his story back in the day, it was total science fantasy.
Yeah.
And with the years come, everything he said came true. It was all a reality, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what makes his story believable.
Yeah. Okay. So after he moves to Vegas, he's just, you know, he's I think he might have been like working in whatever business he was working in.
Right.
And so he needs another job, and he wants to get back into the scientific community, because after a while, after he moved to Vegas, he wasn't doing that. He was just doing whatever, like just whatever side hustles, and I'm not really even sure. But so he starts sending out applications to different places where he this is the way he put it. He sent out applications to somewhere where he wanted to live, because like when you get a job like that, I guess you go to where like that scientific research is being done. So sometimes it's in San Francisco, maybe it's down in Alabama, maybe it's in Georgia. I mean, who knows, right?
Right.
Tennis. I mean, there's a bunch of like Massachusetts. I mean, there's a bunch of interesting science field jobs that like they're all over the country, and who knows, like, you know, where you might end up just working, doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
But anyways, so he sends out a bunch of job applications. He sends one to Edward Teller. Just,
Okay.
I mean, because like, and then he references that he met him down at Los Alamos,
Right.
Los Alamos lab in New Mexico. So Edward Teller gets back to him like pretty quick, like within a couple days of him receiving like his job application, he gets a phone call back. Right. So it's like within a couple days or whatever. So Edward Teller reaches back and gives him some kind of bland job description.
Okay.
But Bob is so interested in working with Edward Teller that he says, yeah, let's go for it, because he's got like that. He likes explosions. He likes like the
excitement of shit.
The excitement of shit. But like, I think he says the potential of power or the potential of energy.
Right. The technology, no?
Or yeah, but just like rockets. I mean, explosions and like,
propulsions and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So he wants to work with him. So to work at these type of labs, like the Los Alamos lab, they have to do an extensive background check.
Right.
You have to agree for them to like interview all of your neighbors, your cousins, your aunts, uncles, everybody in your life. The FBI will go visit them if you're trying to get one of these top secret clearances.
What's the civilian? It's like Q clearance, right, for
Q.
the civilian.
That's what
he had. He had. Well, he claims he had Majestic.
Well, okay, so when he's working at the Los Alamos lab, that's what he had. But then after not working with them, I guess doing contract work, he might have still had it. But after a while, he stopped working with the scientific community, or in that community altogether. So he lost his clearance.
Right.
Like they can't just renew you just so you can have it, right?
You have to be active in a project.
In a project, or else they're not gonna want people like random people just like having ability to know a bunch of different things. So he agrees to get his phone tapped, which I'm pretty sure they're doing now. I mean, they were doing already. I mean, they're doing that shit now. So NSA, go fuck yourself. So they tell him like, this job description is pretty bland. You're going to have to fly out to somewhere in the middle of the desert in Nevada. He's like, cool, I live right by like McCarran Airport. No big deal. And then sometimes the clearances take a while, so they give him like some kind of side job,
like an odd job, just to fill in time.
Just an odd job. So they give him. I think he mentioned like working as this like installing security systems at for just a random business, just to keep him kind of like paid, but not like he's not working on the things that he's gonna be working at, but just kind of it's just I guess like
keep them around until they're ready for that project.
Yeah,
right.
So this is an important detail. In the time when Bob Lazar gave the interview to Art Bell, the first interview, I can't remember, the one that I listened to was in the 90s. Okay. So the one that came out before that, I'm not really even sure when that came out. Okay. But he mentions there he gets his interview at the EG&G building.
That's right there next to the airport, right?
Right by the airport.
Okay.
But what's not known about that in the media, no one knows about that building. No one knows about that company or that name or nothing. He's the first one to mention it on anywhere.
That's like a black project.
That's like
contractor for the government, right?
Yeah, and then that's where he goes to get his interview for his clearances and basically the job too and everything. That's where he goes and does everything.
Okay.
But that what's funny is that that's one of the things that comes out like later on that like, oh, nobody. By the way, this guy knew this and he said it before anybody else did, right. And before the government even like acknowledged that was like a building or a business or anything.
He was getting paid by the fucking Air Force, right?
I can't.
Or was it the naval?
I'm not really entirely sure. I think it was like some kind of naval project.
United States.
But after a couple interviews and a couple months of him not hearing back or anything, he just has a regular ass job and whatever, installing he said a security system. So just after a while, then he gets told like, hey, show up at the airport, go to the EG&G building,
the Janet flights.
And that's where at that time he didn't know they were called the Janet flights, but everyone like now knows those flights as the Janet flights.
Unmarked aircraft going into the desert.
They take off from McCarran Airport in Las Vegas, Nevada, and then they go somewhere in the desert.
Yeah.
So it's pretty wild what happens.
Right.
Like what happens to those people that go out there and they're not supposed to talk about what happens over there, but this is one of the guys that chose not to.
Right.
So he reports over to the EG&G building.
Okay.
Flies to Groom Lake. This is what he's claiming now. Mm-hmm. After up until this point, this is completely believable.
Yeah.
Up until this point, like
now it's like you make your own decision.
Now this is where it kind of gets weird.
Yeah.
All right. So he says he flies to Groom Lake from McCarran Airport, and he accesses it through the EG&G building.
Okay.
When he arrives at the airport, there's a security building. Reviewing, and then he gets led to, like everyone from the flight gets led to the security building. Some people that are already there, they get badged in, or they just go through or whatever. But the brand new people, they get to hang back and get like introduced to all the rules and regulations.
Hold on, I think because you said he flew to. This is flying into supposed Area 51.
Okay, yeah. No, Groom Lake is like the official name of,
okay.
of what it is.
I was like, wait, he didn't fly into EG&G.
No. He,
from EG&G.
From EG&G building, he got access into the airport, and then from the airport, he flew into Groom Lake.
Okay.
Groom Lake is actually Area 51.
Area 51.
That's what everyone knows it as.
Yeah.
But like properly, that's Groom Lake is what it's designated as, I think. Or
yeah, it's Groom Lake. What is it? Dream World?
They call it a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
Dreamland.
Fucking, this is a bunch of bullshit. But so he gets taken into pretty much like a small little security building and start doing all his paperwork and shit.
Yeah,
right?
they right there. Actually, that's like the first time he gets to set foot on at Area 51.
Okay.
So he never spends any much time at Area 51. At Area 51, like what the main buildings are at the Groom Lake. He gets driven about 15 miles south. 10 to 15, what he estimates to be 10 to 15 miles south. I'm guessing it took like half an hour because it's not a paved road anymore.
No. And then you're on a bus.
They put him on a bus, one of those, old school buses.
With windows blacked out. You couldn't see shit.
The windows were completely blacked out.
Yeah.
No way to really tell what's going on. They made it to the point, like, they didn't want them to see at all. So the guy that was like the security guy, like escorting them around.
Right.
He stood at the front of the bus looking back at them just to intimidate them, or maybe just to block out the view, but just so that they're completely disoriented.
Yeah. So they go south, 15 miles south to a new facility.
Yeah. They
get brought in the first time, through a side door, right?
Yes.
Into a building.
Yeah. No. So that's what they're calling like the main entrance.
Yeah.
They get brought in through the main entrance like 2 or 3 times, and the first couple days they're not doing anything. They're just reviewing a bunch of stuff. Okay. The first day that he gets there,
you said it was a load of paperwork, no?
Yeah, there was like a bunch of paperwork. Okay, so let me backtrack. Before they got on the bus, down at the security office, they gave them the lay of the land. They're just like, all right, nobody touch anything. You're not supposed to go anywhere without your escort. If you're caught out, wherever, I mean, we get to kill you or whatever. Like, they just want nobody around. That was at the, when they first land. When they get down to like where the area S4 is at, this is the word where they travel 15 miles south to the area to the other spot S4. Down there, there's like a medical office, and then he's given an allergy test.
Oh yeah, that's right.
They put like a little grid. I don't know if you did it, but like back when I was a little kid, they stuck you with like a bunch of little things, like a bunch,
it's like a little
grid pattern, and just like probably
to see what you were allergic to.
What you were allergic to. So they did that to him to check him out to make sure. So the first day that he gets there, it's nothing but like information and this allergy test and then they send him home. Yeah. So he comes, like, this happens over like 2-3 weeks. Okay. Which I'm assuming because like it's a bunch of he puts it kind of meshes it all together, but then he tells you like this would happen on this day, and then he goes back and on the third day they would only allow us to do this, and then right, so on and so forth. But so the first 2 days they give him the allergy test the first day that he gets there. The second time that he comes back, I'm not sure like how long it was in between days, but like the second time he comes back to S4, yeah, he gets a bunch of briefing papers. They start briefing him on everything.
Oh man, that's one of my favorite.
They start briefing him on like different like aspects of the top of the project. Okay. So example, like they don't give him all the details, but they tell him like, okay, so we got a team over here working on like the metal, yeah, like what is this made out of, yeah, and we got like another team over here working on this, but they don't tell you exactly,
everything's very how do you say
compartmentalized, yeah, which is crazy to do because like what he was saying, what he was talking with our Belf about was that for science to progress, you have to have an open discussion. You have to discuss with like your lab partners and even the bigger science community, just to fact check your stuff and make sure that everything like
and
works together.
And with the people from the other projects too, because I mean they could have found out something that
could help them out.
Could help them out.
That could be part of like why does this work with this is because of this, and then like they weren't allowed to like really like study amongst each other, like, or give each other information, right, which is kind of weird for the military to do that because like that's not how science advances. Right. It advances by giving more people more access to it, and then that way it gets everyone involved in trying to solve whatever they're trying to solve or figure out what they're figuring out. Right. But anyways, so the second day is when he gets all this. He gets the information or like the document that says that he's going to be in charge of trying to back engineer an extraterrestrial craft. That's where
he started like, what the fuck?
He finds it very hard to believe.
He's like this. Hold on. What was it? Which one was it?
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. He's like, UFOs, like that's like crazy talk. Yeah. Only like insane people are like talking about UFOs. Right. Like this is where he kind of loses, like he thinks that they're trying to throw like some weird stuff at him just to see like how he reacts. Maybe this is a test. This is what he thinks. Like, are these people fucking with me? Like,
because there was a lot of wild shit in those
briefings. Yeah, in those briefings, he says that there was like cadavers of like alien beings.
Like actual photos
of the autopsies.
Yeah. And then another one that fascinated me, saying that this shit was coming from Zeta Reticuli. That was the third planet, ZR3, orbiting the binary star system. Mm-hmm. How would they know that?
I'm not really sure how they would know that. That's where it leads me to believe that if this is true and then what he says is true, it leads me to believe that the government has like kind of like an agreement with them.
What we talked about last episode. Yeah.
Right. So, I mean, that's for another discussion. But, yeah, I mean, just for now, this is like the kind of briefing that he's getting. Like, he's just like, hey, you're going to be working on some wild shit.
They also could be giving them all that let's say it's misinformation. Yeah. Because if he goes out and opens his fucking mouth,
And
they're gonna know.
If he starts talking about
Like,
Zeta Reticuli,
we're the
blah,
ones
blah,
that gave him those briefings.
Yeah,
that's that asshole.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
those the only two people know that those briefings are around. It's you and nobody else.
Yeah, right.
So I mean, so it's really interesting to see that, like, his reaction to that news or to those briefings, because he for the most part was not interested in it in UFOs, and honestly to this day he's like, no, I'm not into like the whole mythology ufology.
He tries to stay away from all that stuff.
He stays away from it from his personal life just because, like, well, he's not like the know all and be all. Like, we probably have more information about this because we're weirdos and we want to we want to listen. We want to listen to this sort of stuff. Right. He's not that guy. He's like, I want to work on rockets and advanced technology and blah blah blah. Like he's way, he's not us.
Right. So the next part it starts getting real interesting. Right
okay.
here.
So the third day that he gets there, it's no longer through the main entrance. They have the shop. I mean, not the shop, but like the hangar door open.
Before you go forward, explain what he said S4 looked like from the outside.
From the outside, it looked like it was it was completely camouflaged.
It's on the side of a fucking mountain.
It's the inside of a mountain. Basically, the lab and all where everything is inside of a mountain. And there's hangar doors that come down, and they just look like the side of a mountain.
They had a texture. They had sand texture on them.
They had a sand texture on them. It just you would not expect.
Dude, and this was in the 80s.
Yeah, this is what he was saying back in the 80s.
Yeah.
And I guess nowadays people are throwing their hat in the ring or something, or whatever the fuck that expression is, but they're trying to guess where it's at now. So
right.
You can go online and kind of see like bus tracks or dirt tracks.
Google Maps and shit.
And then they kind of get like erased.
Yeah.
But then like when you find like a couple like little bus tire tracks out in the middle of nowhere up against a mountain, like
then maybe you should start knocking on those hangar doors.
Yeah, people are trying to speculate. Oh, maybe this is where it's at. So, but I mean, I can't tell you that this that for sure. Or if this is fact or not. But I mean,
so he gets there.
It's weird out there. So he gets there, and on this day, the hangar doors are open.
Oh shit! What do you see?
He gets to go inside the hangar door, and then what he says, the way he describes it, as clear as day. Just sitting there, is a flying saucer.
Sick.
Later, he calls is what the one that
he was allowed to work on.
That's the one he was allowed to work on, and that's the one he nicknamed the sport model because it looked sleek. It looked like there was other. Like he says later on, he says that he saw other ones, but this one looked like the most sleek. And we'll post a picture of
our painting that we have right here.
Well, it's a
brewery.
It's a print. It's a print of a sketch that Bob Lazar did back in. I don't know when he did this, but I mean,
I think it was when he started coming out on his doing his interviews and stuff. Mm-hmm. And it's actually signed by Bob Lazar.
Yeah. We're weirdos and we paid money for him to sign it first.
So we'll post a picture of that on Instagram.
We'll post it, and then you kind of get an idea of what the inside of this craft kind of looks like, and it does look like it looks pretty sleek. It looks like it whipped through air pretty quick. Yeah, but I mean it doesn't work that way.
You know what's crazy? The part that caught me too that was pretty funny was that he said that when he walked by it. He's seen an American flag sticker on it.
Yeah, and then that's what he thought. That's when everything clicked for him. He's like, "Oh, this is what this means." He thought that.
So that's what all those UFO sightings are. Because it's not even a UFO.
And it's not a UFO. But I guess some dickhead just fucking slapped the sticker on there. He's like, "Oh, it's ours."
We found it.
We found it, or whatever. And then so it's ours. So but anyways, it's this giant disc. 52 feet across. Mm-hmm. That's how wide it is. 52 feet across, 16 feet tall. So
oh fuck, okay.
So it's a big fucking round disc. And he thought he said he thought it was the new generation fighter jet or something. Right. But it's all right. And then when he said he walked by it. He ran his hand along it, right?
Oh, that's right.
He ran his hand along it, and he
almost
said
got chin checked.
Yeah, the security guard saw him. He's like, "Hey, get your hands off of that. So keep your hands to yourself and look forward." And then just Man, I would have touched it too, though. But he said he felt it, and it was cold to the touch. He said it could have been like maybe an advanced type of ceramic, but he thought it was metal.
Okay.
And he can't verify that it's metal or not because he wasn't allowed to work with it.
Right.
He doesn't want he wasn't allowed to test it, and he was just allowed to do one job. Once he gets past like the hanger and like to get to when he gets to like a view of the craft, he gets to meet his lab partner, Barry Castillo. Or Castillo, I'm not really sure. He even in the interview that I saw him at, he didn't remember like the spelling. I'm sure he knows the spelling, but he didn't spell it out for me. He just kind of like pronounced it different ways, and so I don't know if it's Castillo or Castillo. But that's where he sees like all the component. That's where he meets him, and then he sees the components of the craft kind of around in the lab area.
Okay.
And these are a bunch of parts that are they're all coming from what he says are 9 different crafts, each of them in different states of disrepair or disassembly or whatever they were trying to figure out from them or whatever, right? They're all just kind of taken apart except for a couple.
Right.
A couple of them even looked like they were like ready to go. I mean, and apparently, and later on we find out that like they are ready to go. But but they all find like the same propulsion system throughout all 9 crafts.
That's wild.
So like that's interesting because it's like a propulsion system that's like proven, or I'm guessing like, so it's not even evidence because I can't tell you like how many there, like for sure how many there are. But like if we're hanging everything that we're believing on what this guy says, they all work on the same principle or the same like.
And you know what's a trip? He said one looks like a Jello mold.
Yeah, they all have.
Another one looks like a cigar like shape.
The Tic Tac that.
Another one looks the sport
like
model, the sleek one.
Hat.
Yeah, another one looked like a top hat. He was just describing
like a bunch
what
of
he got
ones.
to see.
What he got to see, yeah.
Because it was a very brief moment that he got to see the other ones. Yeah. Not very long.
It wasn't. Yeah. The one that he was working on was the one that looked the most intact.
Yeah.
And the thing that was generating the power was still inside of it. So it looked like it still worked.
So he meets his new lab partner, and he said that Barry was super excited to get to work with them.
Yeah, because I
guess he hasn't
had a partner in a while.
Yeah. So before we go forward, what happened to his partner before the Bob Lazar?
So before we, the reason that Bob Lazar was hired was because there was an attempt to analyze the operation of a reactor under a load. This is the words that Bob Lazar said, which resulted in 3 fatalities.
Yeah.
So people died trying to take this thing apart while it was turned on. Like
said by Bob Lazar, they try to cut open an operating reactor with the plasma cutter.
Bro.
And resulted in a small nuclear explosion, and that they passed it off as an unscheduled nuclear test.
Yeah.
But it killed 3 people.
Yeah.
How small would that have been, bro? Because if it was a fucking nuclear blast, it should have took the whole thing out.
It might not have been like a nuclear. It
might have been
something
small, right?
In a room. I think it killed whoever was in the room for sure. Like those 3 people that were in there got killed, and maybe there was more people around it, but like I'm not really sure.
So Barry's super excited to get back to work with. So what does he tell him? He goes, "Come check this out."
Yeah. The first demonstration is what blows his fucking mind.
Yeah.
Like, right away.
That's where he's like, okay,
so
this is bad shit crazy.
So like up until this point, they give him a bunch of background information, but he hasn't seen how anything works yet. He gets to see how, like, you know how like you get your CDL, but you don't know anything about driving. And then not until your first day do you get to see how everything works.
With the switches, the jakes,
yeah,
and
exactly.
All that shit,
so
yeah.
this is that day. Like he finally gets his like CDL and he's out on the road. So right here, he gets his first demonstration. What he sees and what Barry explains is that the electrical power output of this thing is more than a nuclear power plant.
Fuck.
And this little device is 2 feet by 2 feet by 6 inches, like a 4 foot, like 2 feet box, like square box, and then 6 inches off the ground. It's like a couple pizza boxes, bro. Like that's how big this thing is.
What the fuck?
And it's got like a dome on top, and this thing generates an incredible amount of power. Incredible amount of power with no waste heat, and that is a violation of the laws of thermodynamics.
What the fuck, dude?
It's magic the way this thing works. And once they turn it on, he demonstrates that it creates a gravitational field.
Nah, like kind of like a force field.
It's a force field.
Like
It creates its own force
gravity
field.
wave.
He says that he
it.
puts his hand up against it, and then like like you ever play with magnets and you
try to put them together, they won't. They push
the same
back.
side, like the north side. Like you try to push them together and they don't touch because
they push back.
They push back. He says that it was like that for just his hand, no metal involved. I mean, this little fucking thing was like creating like some kind of force field.
Right.
It's insane what this thing was able to do.
That's what blew his mind.
That's what blew his mind because he says that there is no machine that we've ever built or can even conceive of building that makes its own gravity.
That's wild.
Like gravity is just us stuck to this earth because there's a giant amount of mass involved, right? It's pulling us towards it. But like scientists don't know how that works really.
That's crazy, dude.
Like, and they don't know how to create it. Like
Right.
they don't know how they don't really know how it works. But they don't even know how to fucking make it. But this thing is doing it. So that's what's fucking crazy about this thing.
Right.
Okay, and then like another thing that they're able to do is bounce a golf ball off of it. Just because they want to throw,
they were throwing shit at it.
They were throwing
Right.
stuff at it. They were trying to like make it see what it could do. If it was just like your hand or was it inanimate object, it was everything, bro.
Right.
Like it was creating its own gravity. Just like everything's affected by gravity, everything was being affected by that thing, or in that manner. So everyone keeps asking him once, like because this thing was inside the craft.
Right.
Everyone asks him, "How did it feel going inside? Wasn't it the greatest feeling ever?" Because I mean, wouldn't you be excited too?
Fuck yeah.
Like to go into a UFO. Like if you knew that there was a UFO like right here or down at the park or whatever, it's like, hey, let's go check out that UFO and like I'd be excited.
We're gonna
check it
get
out.
took, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah, I would be pretty excited though.
but like he had this feeling of like what he said it was an ominous feeling. Like his thought was, "Are you sure we should even be in here? Like this isn't ours.
This isn't meant for us.
This isn't even meant for us because like the seats there was like 3 seats inside, surrounding what he's calling the reactor. I'm no scientist. I don't know what the fuck this is. So there was like 3 little seats around this reactor. They were all facing the same side. So they were like in a triangle form.
Okay.
But they were all facing the same direction. They were all looking like, I guess, past the shoulder of the first guy. Like there's the guy in the middle, and then there's the guy next to him to the right and to the left, and they're all looking the same direction.
Okay.
So around the seats, there was the reactor, and then 3 gravitational amplifiers. There's no buttons inside.
That's wild.
Inside the craft, there is no buttons. There's no lights, no switches, no seams, no bolts.
Wires and nothing.
Wires. There is nothing that we can think about of how this thing like kind of works.
He was kind of describing it like Bluetooth, right? Everything hooks up.
Everything hooks up kind of wireless.
Yeah.
Like you just like the reactor just has to be inside the ship.
Mm-hmm.
And some other components that they were able to like mess with, they just have to be near like the craft or inside the craft or what, like they don't have to necessarily be touching. I mean, it's just, and I guess they couldn't figure out like what kind of radio frequency, because like cell phones and then Bluetooth and then remote control, anything that we use like that's wireless,
any type of radio wave.
it's radios.
Yeah,
it's radio wave, and like that's what we think that is the best way to give information to each other. But this thing transferred energy that way. It transferred energy. It transferred And I guess now we have wireless charging phones
Yeah,
and stuff,
yeah,
but like
yeah.
not like that.
No.
No,
And it's
and no heat. I mean, when I throw my phone on the little magnet thing
It's
to
not-
like charge it,
yeah.
like it warms up a
Yeah,
little
oh,
bit
yeah.
because there's a transfer of power.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's what's fucking wild about this thing. Like it generates no power, and like that's just like unheard of.
right. He also
Especially
said
for the type of amount of power that is.
that there was one window, right?
Oh,
that
right.
had like a screen type of thing that would disappear and then reappear, and it.
Oh
like,
yeah, it was like
But that was
frosted.
another fucking project that he said that he saw them do it.
Yeah.
That's crazy. No right angles. What did he say? It was almost like a 3D printed thing, huh? Or
Right.
or like like injected in a mold, pretty much.
Yeah, he's the way that he described the craft of like how he thought the craft was created was that it was injected molded, or everything was kind of made out of wax because everything was
Okay.
melted together. Everything looked like it was melted together. Everything was part of each other.
Right.
But I guess there wasn't still no switches, or I don't know what. Like I don't know how, like what that even would look like.
That's wild.
So it's really interesting because like what we think how that's possible now is probably through 3D printing. So there's not much like inside the craft that's very like recognizable to us. But there was one little thing that he thought it was pretty cool. There's like a little hatch.
Oh yeah.
That's like a little hexagon. It would look like a little honeycomb,
Okay.
right? But like when you try to push through it, it's solid like a step. Like you can, I think it was like either on the ground or maybe up on like a shelf. I'm not really sure.
Okay.
I'm not sure where he described it, but he said there was one way to open it. You slide it from one direction to another. I don't know if it was from left to right, up or down, or whatever.
Right.
But you slide it and it compresses, kind of like you know when you buy a bottle 6-packs,
Yeah.
a 6-pack with like bottles as they come in that little carton.
Yeah.
You know how like if you try to step on it, you know, it kind of gives resistance. But if you try to fold it from the side,
It
like
collapses
it
on
collapses.
itself.
It,
Yeah.
That's the way it worked.
Wow.
So
It was like a honeycomb type of thing.
so it's
you
a
know?
little honeycomb like looking thing. Like it's just like a sleek little door that he's like, wow, that's like we could probably use that today.
Yeah.
Like out in the real world for something, you know. It's a cool like little what's it called? Cool little door.
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
like that he saw in there. But that's it.
That's probably like the only thing we
the
can
only
replicate.
thing that we can replicate or even like see how it works.
We're talking about the 80s though at that time.
Right.
How long it's been? What, like from there? I'm gonna guess que unos pinches 40 years or something.
Well,
like that?
yeah.
Do you think they've gotten anywhere with it yet?
Maybe.
Maybe
I think they might have learned
a few more things.
a
Not
few more
much
things,
though, huh?
but I mean, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
If they figured out how to do like the gravity stuff, like I think that's the hardest part, like how to generate that much power to create gravity.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the hardest part because like I think it would take like I don't know, like, because I've heard, I'm no smart guy. Like, I just heard other people talk about this, and they say that they need so much power and so much development and a bunch of different things that it's almost near impossible to be able to generate that type of power to create gravity.
It's a fascinating story, man, and we're barely getting to the nitty gritty of it. We're gonna take a quick break. We'll be back to wrap up the Bob Lazar story.
Yeah, man.
So, give us a little 5. We'll be back. And we're back.
What's up, man?
Nothing, man. Just fucking spilled my beer all over the place.
Yeah.
God damn it.
We had a good break, though. We
Yeah.
got to stretch our legs a little bit.
Definitely.
Feel good.
So, I pour you a little something right there. Try that out.
What you got here?
My brother-in-law told me to try a Blue Moon with lemon instead of orange.
Okay.
Tell me what you think. I might have put too much lemon in yours, actually, for that little bit.
Wow.
It's a whole different fucking beast, huh?
That's way better.
Yeah, it is. That's what I thought, too.
Wow.
Fucking refreshing, dude.
Yeah, it's more refreshing than...
With orange, right?
That's like, wow. Can you put that heat in that?
Oh, I'm pretty sure. At that point, I'm pretty sure you can.
It's like one of those mango carts. You know, it
Yeah.
kind of reminds me of that. Are
Really?
those like similar? Are they?
Yeah, sort of.
brewed similar.
I think this one's a little more like lemony because we're using a fresh lemon.
Well,
but
yeah, but like those mango carts, what are they?
They're like usually they're like wheat ales and they put like fruit
But
in
it's
it.
the same shit though.
Yeah,
Like
just
it's a
about
wheat
like a
beer.
Belgian. You know what I'm saying? This is what a Blue Moon's a Belgian.
Oh, that's pretty. So, that's interesting. That's cool.
Or
that
a wit beer or whatever.
Yeah, that's cool. They're like, yeah, that's what it tastes like. If Mango Cart made like a lemon one instead
Pretty
of mango,
fucking bomb, huh?
Or what's that name of that Golden Road, right?
Yeah, that's who makes Mango Cart.
Yeah. Okay.
What is it that another one that's kind of similar to that? What is that? Summer Shandy or what is it called? Or
I don't remember it.
There's a beer out there that's really
tasty.
From Shock Top. They make one with lemon and shit, and it's fucking bomb, dude. So, anyways,
all right. So
back on track.
We got our drinks. There's gummy bears.
Oh shit!
Pop those open. All right, let's get back to this.
They got medicine in them?
Nah, they're just regular. I got them from 7-Eleven or whatever.
Just kidding. Oh fuck! There you go, sir. Sorry, I mangled your bag.
So good. But okay, back to Bob Lazar. Where was I? So he's inside the craft, right?
Right.
He sees this little generator. Maybe eating on the show is a bad idea. What this craft is compared to us right now, like what we have right now, or what that is if they took like a dirt bike and they dropped it off back in like the wagon days. Like eventually, like they would take it apart. They would try to take it apart. I don't know if they have like the correct tooling to like make tools,
right?
To make some, like they won't be making any of the parts. That's for damn sure.
Right.
They're not making any of the parts, but they're not. They could probably turn it on, and they could probably figure out kind of how it works. Like enough tinkering, like messing around with it, they'll figure out that like, oh, it's got gasoline. We don't know what that is, but it makes it go, like it makes it start up and stuff. Right. After they turn the key, and like I don't know, they'll figure it out. They'll figure out some things, but they're not gonna figure out like the batteries and like the how to make the wires. Like they're not gonna figure out any of that. Like right. There's no way. So that's kind of like what this craft is to scientists today. It's like they don't know what the fuck it. They don't even know how the fuck it made it. Like they can theorize how they made it, but it's like so. This isn't covered in this case, but Robert Bigelow, he has, I guess, been researching some material that they found.
Okay.
And he says that the way that it was made was 3D printed, but like on an atomic level, like microscopes.
Okay.
Like, worth of like we can barely see this shit. Not even like try and make the size of what this is or whatever, or 3D print the way that these things are thought to be 3D printed or something, because they're aligned at the molecular level, which is crazy to me.
Okay.
And that's insane. We can't do that. There's no way we can do that.
No.
So where was I? No, we're talking about the craft, but
yeah,
I lost my train of thought.
How it was a very ominous feeling for him at that point.
So being in the craft, they had no idea like where it came from, and to them it felt like it was foreign, like it was and it is, because it is extraterrestrial.
Right. It's out of this world.
Not from here.
Yeah.
Not made by human hands, and like it's not possible that we created this. Not us, as in the United States.
What if
not other countries? Nobody here on Earth.
We don't know nothing about UFOs or anything like that. But what if we confiscated like a Ford Pinto of a UFO?
This is like the janky one. This is the one. That was the one
or the little Delincuente car, or a little CRX, or the Acura.
The little Acura.
What if those aliens were hood, dog?
You know what? I don't know, dude, because they come down at the wildest times. They're like, listen, they come down here, check out nuclear explosions and like all kinds of weird. Like they're interested in some cool shit too.
Either that or they're stoners, bro. They just want to watch some crazy shit. You know?
I don't know, man. Like that part gets kind of crazy when you speculate what is coming here for what reasons, and like there's only speculation at that point, because there's no way that like anyone really can tell you, oh, I've had a conversation with a extraterrestrial and this is what they're here for. Like Nah.
Yeah.
Even if you say that to me, I'm like, really? But I'll take your word for it, is that you believe that it's true.
So how long is he working there doing that?
Okay, so so eventually his little experiments and stuff, they have to come to an end.
Everything good comes to an end, bro.
Everything, eventually you're gonna get fired or whatever. But like, from your job, this is what his job was, right? They were paying him to do this.
So what got him to that point?
Okay, so when you get those types of those kind of background checks, you have to give the government permission to tap your phones, to go through your entire background, like school, meet your neighbors, talk to every single one, every person in your family, in your house. Just like, come on in, go talk to everybody.
Okay.
Like, this is who I am, and you have to be like 100% honest with them when you're getting those types of like clearances.
Okay.
So they tap his phone, and since he's like, his life is kind of hectic at this point. He's got like the government like just calls him at random times of the day.
Yeah.
They call him in. They're like, hey, be ready within an hour. And it's 3 a.m. They call you like at 5 p.m. one day, and it's cool. It's like, oh, chill. I'll just, or they'll call you early in the morning, like 7 a.m. Like, hey, be ready to work at 8 at the EG&G building. And cool, like you got an hour to get there. Cool. You shower, you can take off, whatever. But sometimes they call you like a random time. It's 3 p.m. Your day's just ruined.
Right.
And like, and you have to be up, and you're doing some exciting shit, so you want to go do it. It's not like it's a hassle where like, oh, it's such a pain in the ass. He wants to go do this because like it's fucking fascinating shit. Right? He can't talk to his wife about it, and she thinks that, I don't know what happens in people's like relationships, dude. Like, they must have been like strange for them, This guy just takes off all the time. She's left alone, I don't know what that relationship would have been like.
Okay.
But I mean, she ends up having an affair.
Fuck.
She's
like, oh man.
Damn. Like, imagine, dude, like you're out there doing like some wild shit, and then like you get home.
That fool's like,
get the fuck out of here.
But the government knew this was happening. They were like but like, so he gets up. I mean, so the government knows about this. They find out about this affair.
Yeah.
And when you get these types of background checks, they also look for like different things, like mental stability, emotional stability, like just like how you are.
Of shit, yeah.
All types of shit. Like, are you going to be financially stable? If something happens, like in your regular life, say you got a DUI or something, like, are you that type of person to get a DUI, or can you like manage your bills like efficiently and whatever? They want to look at everything, make sure you are like the person they want to hire or whatever, okay. Right? So because like top secret shit is like important shit to like the to the national, what they call like national security, right?
Okay.
So they need to have like the people that they can trust on the inside, and I guess that's enough to be Bob Lazar is enough for that person to be there.
Okay.
So, so his phones get tapped, and that's how they find out his wife's having an affair. So one day they just stopped calling him. Like, his job was that like he should have to be ready to go at any moment's notice. But the phone the phone calls stopped coming, so he freaks out.
He's like, "What the fuck is going on?
What the fuck is going on?" Like,
and he didn't know at the time that what was going on.
No, he had no idea. The government knew before he did. Like, they tapped him, and they're like, "Hey, you're off the project for now. Like, we don't know how your life is gonna play out, so just hang tight. Don't do nothing." But they didn't even tell him that. They're just like, whatever, just not talking to you. We're just gonna let it see how it happens, and then we'll see.
So he at this point he freaks out.
Yeah, he freaks out,
and he takes a bunch of buddies.
Well, he wants to get a little bit of like kind of like proof of something.
Yeah.
So then that way, like if his friend, he's gonna tell like some of his friends, so that if he does go missing, because like he's freaking out. Yeah. He's like, well, what if like they just kill me one day? They can do that. Like, because they want those secrets to be quiet or something, right?
So he takes a bunch of homies out there.
Yeah.
Because he had the test schedule when they were flying those fucking things.
Yeah, he knew that like on Wednesdays there was
Less traffic.
Less traffic on
in the air. I think
I-15 on the 15.
Okay.
Because you know how the 15 goes from here in Southern California up to Vegas,
right?
It just keeps going through the desert, right?
Right.
And then Area 51 is around there, so that's like the only place where there's actual like people around is the 15 freeway.
So he takes a bunch of homies out there for 3 nights, or 3 different times.
Oh yeah.
The third time, that's when they get busted. And it was a funny part of the story because he said that they were all out there bullshitting, talking.
Yeah, because they were out there having fun. They
take a camper out there,
kicking back beers and then watching the UFOs fly around.
And he said that he was talking to his homie
John Lear.
John Lear.
Yeah, John Lear was there.
Fuck, you saved me on that. Yeah, John Lear. He was talking to him, and he tells him, "Wouldn't it be funny?" He goes, "Oh, if only they would know that we're about to storm the base and steal all this shit." he said, as he said that, he seen a little green line roll up to him. One of the fucking guards that dropped his night vision scope and it rolled to his feet. And he's like, "What the fuck?" So they hit the lights all over. They're fucking surrounded by guards.
That's crazy. Like they're out there in the middle of the desert and then they get rolled up on by like a gang of dudes and they had no idea that they were there.
So they take them to debrief in the Indian Springs?
Yeah.
Air Force Base?
Yeah, they just take him out like just somewhere.
They were pretty much telling him, "How dare you? How could you? Yada yada yada." You know,
because like when you work for the government like that, you sign a what was it? It's a 10-10 agreement.
Okay.
I think that's what he was telling George Knapp. He was telling him that like once you so you sign a 10-10 agreement. Basically, you can't if you're saying things that violates this, you're violating national security. And the minimum prison time is 10 years in a federal prison and then $10,000 fine. Well, $10,000 fine isn't kind of that much right now,
right?
Like I mean, it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money, but I mean, it's probably like by inflation standard. But like, I mean, 10 years in federal prison for violating violation national secrets, and that's like the fucking worst of the worst, I guess, right? Like, because like you're giving secrets to like our enemies or something,
and it's so
putting
they
us in danger of whatever they're trying to do.
So they grill him for security, and then he's like, "Well, you guys are not calling me back. Like, what's going on?"
Yeah,
and they show him all the conversations his wife was having with the flight instructor,
right?
And that's when he finds out, like, "Fuck, I fucked up," But then, so they were telling him, "Oh no," and then his supervisor called him Barry, or no, it was Barry, right?
No, his supervisor was Dennis.
Dennis calls him, and he goes, "Oh, now you you don't even know what we're gonna do to you now," like threatening him, and then he would hang up the phone.
Yeah,
so
just imagine, dude.
He went through a period of time where he was getting nothing but like a lot of shit happening to him from the government. They would break into his house, fucking make a huge mess in his house, leave his windows open but close the door.
Yeah.
Or they'll what do he have? His car. He would go to the gym. He goes, at that time he was real paranoid. He had a
he went out and
a Uzi.
Yeah, he bought a
fully
Uzi.
automatic Uzi.
And there's a video clip of him with a Uzi with a giant silencer.
Yeah,
just unloading like a whole magazine.
Fucking sick, dude. So he said he would go to the gym. Keep in mind his Uzi in the trunk or wherever he kept it, or the glove box or something.
That's wild,
bro. He said he would come back, all his fucking doors would be open, and everything would be rummaged through, but everything was not missing. I mean, anything was missing, nothing was missing.
Yeah.
So he would be like, "What the fuck?" And then that one time where he tried to get on the freeway, and somebody rolled up right next to him and shot at him,
and blew out his like window.
Yeah, or something, and then took off again. So at this point, he said, "You know what? Fuck this. I need some type of insurance or some type of protection. I'm going to go public with this."
Yeah.
So that's when he talked to the first reporters and then George Knapp. Mm-hmm. And at first when they recorded all this shit, like I told you, he introduced himself as Dennis.
Yeah.
Kind of saying a fuck you to Dennis. And then...
Oh, right. No, so I got that name. if you do me the honor... Dennis Mariani. I guess you're a piece of shit.
Just kidding.
And that was the supervisor that that Bob Lazar claims.
Well, then towards the end, Bob Lazar was kind of upset because he kind of wanted to reach out to them to see where they were at the project.
Mm-hmm.
Supposedly, he met up with somebody. Him and Lear went to go meet somebody, and they saw him, which was Barry.
Yeah.
They tried to meet with Barry. They saw him, but Bob Lazar immediately recognized a bunch of security guys from the base too. So they bounced. They said, "Fuck, this is go," you know. But that was the only time that he was able. Well, he would try to get a hold of those guys.
Yeah,
you know. And so after that happened, he went public with the story. Thanks to him, we know what Area 51 is.
That's why that's why Area 51 is known in the public
because of him,
because of Bob Lazar.
That's wild. So there was a couple, like we said in the beginning, how there were some things that came true that weren't true back in the day.
Yeah.
Element 115.
Element 115 is what he called the fuel source of what generates power in the reactors. Element 115 is something that's not real, or that was not real when he was talking about it.
Right.
I guess they ran enough tests or something that they figured out that it falls in the periodic table. Kind of at the time ended it at element 112. So there were still a couple elements that were like in development and there was theories of element 115, but what he says is possible, or what they found that made the fuel source is element 115. We can make like a few microscopic like atoms of them, or I don't know how to describe it, just tiny fragments of it. We can make them in a particle accelerator that's what like happened at the Large Hadron Collider.
Okay.
I think that's what it's called. I don't know. I heard smart people talk about it. But so they found this element in a science in an experiment, and they could reproduce it for like 0.003 seconds or something. Like,
yeah, it wasn't even that.
They found it though.
It was proven that
it's proven that it's real.
Yeah,
but not a stable form of it. Like I'm not smart enough to talk about any of this, but what Bob Lazar says is that there is a stable isotope of element 115 that powers these things.
That's what they had.
And they had a bunch of it.
Allegedly, what they told him, it was 500 pounds that they had.
They had a bunch of it, yeah. So like, I'm guessing it came off of each craft.
Okay.
Like they kept collecting it. They're like, oh, here's another one. Let's pull the fucking gasoline out of it or whatever.
Right.
The U.S. government's like a bunch of junkies, bro. Like they're like, oh, rip the fucking copper wire out of everything.
Siphon this shit.
Siphon it.
Yeah. So
element 115 is one of the things that came proven true after all this time. And another thing that got proven correct is that gravity is a wave.
Yeah, that's another thing.
They found, like, I guess they did enough experiments with like the lasers in the mirrors or something,
okay.
And then they knew there was going to be like an explosion of some neutron star, I believe, that it generated enough gravity, or because it collapsed or exploded, or I don't know what the fuck, it generated gravity, and they were expecting it to happen. And then they saw the experiment happen, and then they knew that it was a wave. They found out that it was a wave. It didn't get pulled at the same time, I guess, or it got pulled at different times. I don't know how the fuck the experiment works, but they figured it out. These fucking smart people did, okay? So gravity is a wave, and that's something that got proven right. And this is what he says that like manipulated the craft. It was able to like generate anti-gravity.
Okay.
And I guess that's how it flew. I don't know.
What was it? 2 configurations, right? Omicron and Delta?
Yeah. I guess like Delta is when like how it flies like fucking
through space.
Interstellarly. Omicron is, I guess, is just floating above, just to give yourself like
I think it was running on one generator, no?
I remember him explaining it, but like I didn't write it down because like I was gonna have a hard time explaining it. But I'll link the the Art Bell interview. And
Yeah.
if you gave us a chance, I mean, give that one a chance because you're gonna learn a lot of cool shit, like from the man himself. Like you're not gonna get a better
And
interview.
he realistically, what he said is he only saw it one test, where they walked outside of the hangar. He had to been present there for the test. It just lifted up the ground, moved right, moved left, came back down.
Oh, right.
You know, that's the only test he got to see. You know,
they let him watch.
Yeah, and he said that he looked up to it, and it was just a small corona discharge. It looked like a light, like what people see, lights in the sky. It's a light, and that's from the light bending around the gravitational field.
Like another thing that got proven correctly was that at the time 3D printing wasn't a thing.
Right.
3D printing was just like kind of it wasn't even thought of. It wasn't invented. There was nothing that was 3D printing anything.
Okay.
What he theorized was that it was like injection molded.
Okay.
But I mean, I guess that's not possible. I mean, it might be, but I mean, this is not the way that this was constructed.
Okay.
This thing was constructed. The best, I guess, theory around is 3D printing.
Okay.
Is how this craft was created. So there's a couple things that like he didn't know about.
Right.
And it left him kind of guessing, but through time and through enough like advancements that we've had as just like as a society and like a world at large, is that he's been proven right for like many things, way more things that he knew that were possible then than, well, it's not like he knew more, but there was no way that he could have known any of this. There's no way that he could have just, he could have had enough like correct guesses, but there's no way that this guy is explaining some of the things that we're now seeing are correct,
right,
or are being proven correctly. It's really incredible. Like, I find his story hard not to believe at this point.
Yeah. And then the time clock.
Oh, right.
The way he would punch in and out.
Oh, right. There was like another, there was the specific way that they punched in and out of work, or they were kind of badged in. Mm-hmm. There was this he said it was kind of like a scanner. Like, you had two little pegs where you would slide your middle finger between. Mm-hmm. And so it would catch in the web of like the index and the ring finger. And it would through x-rays would measure the bones, the size of your bones.
Okay.
And that was your ID to get in and out of work.
Okay.
Because everyone has a unique unique bones. Nobody's bones is exactly the same. I mean, they're similar, but like obviously everyone's created differently, right, or whatever. So that was like one of the things that that he explained this like way back when like before like he came out and said like, oh, I worked at Area 50, or this is part of the mm-hmm. when he worked at Area 51, and some of that machine was not even like out in the public. It wasn't known to like.
It wasn't even. It was science fiction at that time.
At that time, it was science fiction because like, well, there was no need for that. Not out here, not in the real world. But I mean. And
then Jeremy Corbell got a hold of the guy that would work on him.
Oh, right, and then like later on, Jeremy Corbell showed him a picture of it, and yeah, it's just there's so many like weird little things in the that have come to fruition that he claimed back in the day that have all just kind of been proving his story right.
Yeah.
So at this point, I believe that what he says is probably real.
I mean, yeah, I would agree too. I am agreeing. He didn't make any money off of this.
His life would have been a lot better off without any of this.
To now, maybe I don't know none of this stuff. Like I said, maybe he got a little bit off of Jeremy Corbell's documentary. I certainly paid for a sketch.
Yeah.
That's saying, but he didn't make no money out of this. He didn't want nothing to do with this. He just told an amazing story to provide himself with insurance. I'm guessing that way nothing bad would happen to him.
Yeah.
And it just opened up. It's a wild fucking story, dude. I mean, with all the shit that's coming out now.
Yeah.
Everything that he talked about before, that all that shit came true. how could you not believe him?
Mm-hmm.
You know, the one thing that did catch me a little off guard, and he said himself that he doesn't understand how this works.
Okay.
But when they did the test, and he's seen the UFO go up and down, left, right, whatever, right? There was somebody inside of it.
Oh,
and
right.
they were communicating with radios.
Oh, right.
They shouldn't be able to do that.
Right. So
He said that's one thing too that he didn't figure it out. Like why,
how it worked.
Yeah.
How there was no interference.
Yeah, he said it himself. He was, I don't know how that didn't work. You know, because I never figured that out.
It's incredible if they did find these crafts out there, and if they are housing these crafts out there, it'd be incredible to see them, how they work and what makes them work, and to understand that. I mean, I guess we just have to wait and see. And do you think they'll ever declassify any of that?
I hope they do. Not everything, bro. Not everything.
What do you think that
we shouldn't. If we got some fucking secrets, we shouldn't let them out. That's bad for us. But shit like Roswell, you know, Roswell, maybe, because he did mention that one of those crafts were part of a dig.
Mm-hmm.
They dug that fucker out.
Well, no, I think he meant as a dig, as an
archaeology. Well, they dug it out.
Archaeological dig, yeah.
They found it somewhere and they dug it out.
Mm-hmm.
So shit like that, why not release it? You know, but if it's something that's benefiting us strategically, yeah,
military
for a military,
yeah,
I'm not gonna go out and say anything. Imagine if one country had one, let's say a fleet of 10 UFOs, they would take over.
Yeah, I mean,
how the fuck would you? How would you fight that?
All you need is one.
And
yeah. Well, I mean, I don't think that's. Well, yeah, at the same time, I see why. I mean, I can almost give you an argument why, because I like to play the devil's advocate sometimes, not like to an extreme degree or anything, but I can see why they would hold this kind of technology back is because people are irresponsible or we're just kind of fuck ups like that. Yeah. We'll just fuck it up no matter what. Like, even though if we'll put today we'll put our best foot forward, but the next day or the day after
we're gonna use it for our advantage.
We're gonna be like, fuck it. We're gonna use it to do whatever the fuck we want. And it's just like,
I don't think we're ready for that.
People are just, they're not really ready for that sort of thing.
I want to learn more about Roswell.
I want to learn more about
the old UFOs that they would dig out.
I want to know that this shit is real, because if it's real, then I mean, I don't know what I'm gonna do with my life afterwards. But the crash
in the Socorro Desert right before was it before Roswell?
Yeah, it was before Roswell. Yeah. The what you remember as Roswell. What happened in Roswell was in 47, and I think that one was what year?
45, 46.
Before it, yeah,
something like that. Yeah, but it's his story fascinated me, man. His story was the one that opened my mind to that kind of stuff. You know, I remember countless nights going through the desert on my way to Porterville to go take a load. Yeah. Not have him. And I'm just thinking to myself, bro, like, fuck, man, what if that shit is real? You know, and how you can't prove it, you can't disprove it. Yeah. You know, his is a little more believable because a lot of shit that he said came true. Yeah. At least in my book, that's what it looks like to me. You know? But I mean, only time will tell.
I mean, as the more that we're like going, just time passes and everything, more and more like just more gets advanced. It's just like it's just proving him right. No matter what any kind of skeptic would say at this point, like it's just you're gonna have to like stop thinking about like the little things, like the thing where he went to college and all that. Like they erased it for a reason. Like the government,
we can't say for what reason, but
they had the reasons that they did, and that's what happened. So it's hard to prove he is who he says he is in that aspect. But
that fool Stan Freeman hated that fool. I don't know if he hated him, but he just would bring Bob Lazar. He's like, nah. Like he doesn't have an education. Nope, he's not credible. Nope, like R.I.P. Stan Freeman, you know. But he didn't want to hear nothing about him. Yeah. But I mean, that would be dumb to go work at a project that is that big of a magnitude and be like, oh yeah, we're just gonna let you leave and go find another job.
Yeah.
No, dude, they're gonna fucking protect their shit, dog. They're gonna erase all your bullshit. They're gonna, if they can, they could take you out.
Yeah, they can.
Who's gonna answer to them? Who's gonna put them in jail?
Nobody.
Exactly. You know, you're just some average Joe working on a project.
Yeah.
So it's this is a fun one, man. I like this. This is one of my favorite cases. One of my favorite cases.
Well, I mean, it's not even a case. It's like
It's just a story.
A person.
A person, yeah.
This person's story. It's
a wild one, that's for sure. You
Yeah.
know? And I think the next one. What's going to be our next one?
Next episode. I don't know. What are you thinking about? I got a couple in mind.
I'm thinking Betty and Barney Hill.
Betty and Barney Hill.
Yeah. Or I mean, we could kind of hold that one off.
I mean, that's that one. I think it's kind of sensitive, like because those are real people too. Like when you're talking about like abductions are some serious shit. Bob Lazar was he got to see this craft, and then the episode that we did before that was the Rendlesham Forest incident. Right. John Burroughs and Jim Penniston, those are real people,
right? And
I mean, they got affected like in a medical sense, and but they were outside the craft. With Betty and Barney Hill,
they got taken.
They got taken on board.
They got taken for a ride.
Experimented on against their will.
Yeah.
So that's one of the. It's a really touchy subject from
Travis Walton too.
Travis Walton also. He had like a very.
That one was a pretty funny case though.
I mean, I think it was like a funny situation, but I mean, in the moment, I think he was trying to make fun. I mean, I don't know if he was that kind of person. He was described that way by his friends, or his coworkers, but I'm not entirely sure.
Let's leave those off a little more.
Yeah,
I think let's do Roswell next.
Roswell?
Yeah. What do you think?
We can study up on some Roswell.
Yeah. Yeah. Just if you can, please do me a favor. Go check out. We're gonna put the links up on the Instagram, but go check them out.
Yeah, we got some cool pictures for the Instagram. I've got it's a sketch or someone like they did a what's it called? Not a reproduction, a rendering of what the craft looks like.
Yeah.
Oh no. So this is for the Bob Lazar episode.
Yeah.
So Bob Lazar, we got a picture of him in the rocket car.
The CRX.
Oh, in the CRX, yeah. So check it out.
All this is gonna be up on the Instagram and
check it out on our Instagram. Hopefully, like you follow us already on there, but if not, give us a follow there.
Yeah. It's gonna be fucking dope, bro. I'm excited for the next one.
Yeah.
Roswell's gonna be the shit. That's another one that got me like, what the fuck?
It's interesting what they found out there.
Yeah, and
they said they found out.
Yeah,
there.
follow us on our Instagram. We'll be putting up more info. Well, on this case, we're gonna put up the links to like the Joe Rogan one, all the interviews. You guys go out on your own, listen. If you
got that type of time, like this is where we get our info from. I mean, we're giving you our opinion and like whatever, but. Check out those. Like they're pretty solid. Like Bob Lazar has given some pretty compelling. Well, I mean, it's just like an interesting story. If anything, it's a really interesting story. And if you choose to believe him or not, I mean, that's up to you. Mm-hmm. But I kind of want to believe him.
Yeah, I kind of tend to believe him too.
So yeah, check us out on Instagram. Today's sponsor. Hey, Krookz Backyard Brews.
Damn, dude.
You need a little theme song for your beer company.
I gotta think of something.
That'd be dope.
One like Art Bell would be fucking sick.
Yeah,
that one was pretty dope.
Oh, what if you can use it Art Bell?
Nah, we're gonna get fucking flagged.
Get sued.
Shout out to Krookz Backyard Brews. Stay tuned. We have some new beers coming out pretty soon.
We're actually working on something right now.
Right now, yeah.
Right now.
We just had a little problem in the brewery. A little rodent issues, but
Little Ratatouille got smoked though.
Yeah, I think we
looking for this smoke.
we took care of the problem, but yeah, I mean, just follow us, Krookz Backyard Brews. We're currently working on the Malinche IPA.
Yeah,
and then I'm gonna do a blonde ale.
Blonde ale.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to incorporate like strawberry to it.
Nice.
Make like a little light strawberry blonde ale.
Duh, that's gonna be dope.
Yeah, strawberry or peach.
I don't know. Have you ever done strawberry before?
No.
Try it out. See what happens.
Strawberry or peach, one of them two. And also we're gonna be bringing back the Jamaica.
The Jamaica?
Jamaica ale.
Nice.
Yeah, everybody was fucking going wild for that one.
But you're trying to like boot up the fucking
yeah. Well, the last
alcohol,
time was
right?
the last time was 3% ABV. I think it was too light for me. Like it was good, and I would drink a lot of it, but you couldn't catch a buzz.
Yeah, like I was saying though, it was more of the more of a session type of thing where you can just crush a bunch of
the
them.
The original one we had at San Felipe was 6% alcohol.
Was it?
Yeah, with like 3 cups, bro. You're
pretty.
Yeah,
feeling pretty good, huh?
Yeah. So I'm gonna try to do that. I know the numbers I gotta hit. So yeah, follow us on Krookz Backyard Brewz. And stay tuned, man. And thank you very, very much for staying tuned and listening to the whole thing. We've gotten some feedback from various people, and we're working on them. Yeah, we really are.
So hopefully you enjoyed this.
It's a third episode. Give me a break, please. It's a third. Like I've never done this before.
Well, first of all, thank you for making it this far.
Thank you very much. And yeah, I promise we'll get better at this. Every episode's gonna be better. So I mean. But hey, man, what more is it to come sit, have a fucking beer, bullshit,
chill.
Yeah,
you know?
It just sucks, dude. The fucking vacation's coming to an end.
Don't even remind me,
man.
Sunday's coming up soon, bro. No, fuck. All right, guys, enjoy your weekend.
Yeah, we're gonna try to enjoy as much as we can and get brewing another beer right now. So we'll catch you guys on the next episode. Please follow us at MBBR51 on Instagram and follow Krookz Backyard Brewz on Instagram as well. And subscribe, and share our channel.
I think that helps out the channel
a lot. And our first one's already up like 50 views or something like that. So hey,
if you 50 attempts at this, somebody out there gave it like a try.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. And like I promise we're gonna get better at this.
All right.
So I'll catch you later. Frankie, let's get back to brewing.
All right, bro.
Because we got to get these fucking shits cranked out. So,
all right, bro.
Peace out.
Later.